What is going on, America? What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube and all those other good places? It's me, Kev, from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And we finally did it, y'all. We finally was able to make some sense out of the Russian collusion nonsense. Now, if you're just joining the show, say what's happening to me, y'all. First of all, let me check and see if my volume is on, okay? Can y'all hear me? 1, 2, check one, especially over here on this phone right here, because this one is the one that was giving me problems the other night, okay? It's the one on YouTube. So somebody said hello. Good. Okay, I'm assuming, Moon, you can hear me? I'm not going in and out? All right. This is what I'm talking about. All right, see, we here. So sounds like folks over here on Facebook, they got me. And then folks over here, they got me. And I just saw a commercial as I'm looking at the other screen. So I'm going to let that play. I'm going to let that play right there. I ain't going to click off of it because that's how, one way, I get paid. So now, while that's playing, I'm going to go ahead and give all of the standard introductions. Welcome to the show. Make sure you hit the like button, share my videos wherever you can possibly share them. Subscribe to my other channels. That's important because you know how they're playing. They're playing games, man. And after what I'm going to do to them tonight, they might come back for revenge. They just might. After what I'm going to do to them tonight, y'all. That's right. We're going to expose some of this garbage, which we already knew. We already knew a lot of the garbage. But I'm going to now talk about it at their expense. That's what I'm going to do. So follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and on all those other platforms, please. Now, I want to let you guys know, after tonight, these clips dealing with two particular subjects are going to be uploaded as a standalone, not with me on it, but just the clips for references, basically the storyboard, so that you all can just say, all right, I'm going to condense all of these clips because it's a wonderful, wonderful montage to send to your friends that all fail for this okie doke. Yeah, send that to them with major pain. 1, don't you feel dumb? 2, look at you. That's what you need to do concerning two particular subjects we're going to be talking about tonight, if we can get through both of them. So with no further ado, let's kick it off. What's the day? Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. We might as well have us a little fun and get warmed up for tomorrow night show too. So let me get loose. Sometime, you know, when you fight with the ragged Democrats, real gorilla, real gorilla, real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here, gorillas in here. That's right, y'all, some gorillas in this funky joint. Now, y'all all heard that the Durham report came out, y'all. Now, I do have some concerns because really, I probably could have did that report myself. We all could have. We all should have a degree in law right about now from just observing what's been going on for the last 4 to 6 years with the corrupt Democrats, the corrupt FBI, the corrupt DOJ, all of that. All of these things that are about to be revealed, I'm thinking to myself, I could have tried this case about 4 years ago. So with that being said, this guy right here has a question. So let's see what he's talking about here.
Well, today the Durham report finally came out.
Yeah.
And as suspected, the FBI and the DOJ acted vastly improperly with raw, uncorroborated, so-called evidence that they used to hound President Trump for well over 2 years and try to influence the 2016 election, as well as make the administration untenable following that.
Now, you know what's funny? We just watched the fake news the other day after that town hall meeting on CNN. Just get on there with all of this outrage talking about how many times the president lies over and over and over again. And he lies, and he's always throwing mud on the upstanding FBI and our law enforcement and this and that. He doesn't believe that. Now, why would we? Why should we believe the FBI after this report just dropped? Why should we believe that the election wasn't you know what? That's my question. I mean, as you see all of the interference and the steps that they went through to get Trump, and y'all want us to believe that the election was just fair, right? That the FBI, the DOJ, the CIA, and all of these other actors wouldn't have anything to do with rigging something else. Interesting. So here we are. The Durham report is out. And so my question is, if they were willing to lie about all of this, you don't think they would be willing to lie about Hunter Biden's laptop? You don't think they'd be willing to cover up the fact that all of these people tried to subvert our democracy by trying to sabotage Trump? I mean, 4 years they were on his back. They put us through heck for 4 years. They have no idea the potential fallout that could have came from that. All of the stuff that could have gotten done if they would have just left well enough alone and took their loss. All of that. All of the stuff that the progress we could have made, not to mention all of the instigating between Trump and Putin. Glad Trump knew he was innocent and had some temperance. Because what if he would have just went ahead and said, you know what, I got to prove to these people that I ain't no Russian puppet, so I'm going to pick a fight with Putin. Now we'd have been looking at a mess. So these folks were tampering with our way of life, not to mention dividing our country and undermining all of the institutions that they claim they defend. So let's get into this.
So who's going to go to jail for this?
That's my question.
Hard to tell. It's pretty difficult to prosecute these sorts of things when the insiders at DOJ and FBI are going to be trying to make sure it doesn't happen. So,
and see, that's the problem right there. We got all the goods on them, y'all. But the problem is the deep state is in power. I want to know who's going to jail. I want to see them dance and do the jailhouse rock. That's all I want to dance and do the jailhouse rock. I want to see some folks in the slammer. Because these people right here deceived our whole country, wasted our tax dollars, illegally spied on a president, tried to frame him as a Russian asset and agent. And these were institutions that we thought we could rely on. We thought that they would never abuse their power. But see, the problem is they're in power. Congress can't do much except recommend some things and take that money. That's what you need to do. Tap those pockets. I would defund CIA, FBI, all of that until Trump gets in and gets rid of them all. They all got to go. Now, with this report right here, I don't want to hear one person, if Trump wins and he decides to dismantle all of those organizations, I don't want to hear no outrage. I don't want to hear the people on The View, this right here, he's doing it because he wants power and he's getting revenge on all the people who tried to hold him accountable. No, they didn't try to hold this man accountable. They tried to destroy him and was willing to potentially send him to jail and so many other people who had nothing to do with this. Carter Page, George Snuffleupagus, all of them caught up in this mess. So if Trump got in and started day one dismantling all of them, you shouldn't hear nothing come out of anybody. So even if they don't go to jail under the Democrats' watch, because you know they're Democrats ain't gonna do that. The DOJ, they're not doing that. FBI ain't gonna hold themselves accountable. Even if they can't go to jail or be prosecuted under this regime, defund them. Don't write another nickel for them. Sweat them out, choke them out financially, and hold off until Trump gets in. And then day one, before they get time to muster up something else. See, you can't give these folks time to work things out. No. You got to go in swinging and chopping and all of that. You got to go in immediately, day one. Because you know what they did before Trump and them even moved in. Started planning it. Slid in there to Michael, talking about, hey, how you doing, buddy? I mean, how's things going? Transition going good? Okay. Set him up. All of this stuff was being laid before Trump was even inaugurated. So you cannot toy around with these people. They're evil. And then once you dismantle it, that's when you tell your DOJ department to prosecute, not investigate. We already got the investigation done. Prosecute. That's how you get them. Straight up prosecute. Let's continue.
So what do we do to put at least the confidence of the American people back in
What I
the
said.
upper echelons of the Department of Justice and the FBI so that we don't have to think that they're going to be doing this sort of thing to anybody they disagree with politically on top of what we just saw.
See, you got to go in and work on them. Now, see, here's the thing. All of this evidence thing came out. And if Trump did this, like what I was just describing, if Congress did what I just described and he dismantled them, you would still have idiots mad about that. They don't even care. There's so many citizens that don't even care that this stuff came out, and it points right back to that raggedy witch that they felt that should have won. Now it's obvious that she was corrupt, lied to them. These supporters, many of their supporters, are willing to be lied to by them, willing to be made a fool of. Because remember, they went in on us. This wasn't no, I mean, you could be, man, I don't know, who knows. They were like, man, y'all stupid, man. Trump won that thing because Russia. Man, they believed it, fought for it, defended it, all of that. Now you find out that they lied to you. You found out that you're the baddies. You found out that all of that praise for Hillary, all those balloons and celebration and all of that, all fell flat. Why would you trust them ever again? Why would you be upset if Trump said, get rid of all of these agencies and prosecute those people? But you will have the media give an effort to try to spin that as if Trump don't have a right to do it. There's no reason for him to go in and investigate and dismantle all these institutions. He's tearing down our norms. No, they tore them down. They've been torn down. We're trying to reestablish them. So let's continue.
Indeed. How do we regain trust? Because it's been blown up in the name of influencing an election in 2016 and harming the Trump administration.
What's this? Let's see. Breaking. Special Prosecutor John Durham concluded that neither U.S. nor the intelligence community appears to have possessed any actual evidence of collusion in their holdings at the commencement of the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. So let me get this straight. They pulled that out of their butt. That's what you telling me? They went ahead and said, let's launch an investigation and pull the evidence and the predicate right out of our butt. Or out of Hillary's butt. Let's check it out.
Now an investigation that's 4 years in the making, and we finally have the conclusions, more than 300 pages released by the Justice Department. Now, it has now been transmitted to members of Congress who also are going to want to bring John Durham in to review some of the findings. But the bottom line is this. The investigation found that the FBI failed in many, many ways.
Wait a minute, y'all. Wait. Am I wrong to gloat? I mean, should I try to behave? I mean, you know, I want to be fair and no, I'm going to gloat. I'm about to have a great time gloating. Gloat party. You know why? Because these people tried to kick us when we were down. These people were malicious. These people were evil. And these folks right here that we're going to be watching these montages over were involved in that. That's why the media is going to have to eat a big fat lemon on this one. That's why if Trump was to win and get rid of those agencies, the media would defend them, which would be amazing to me. For the simple fact, you would think if they weren't in cahoots with those agencies, they would be upset that those agencies lied to them and deceived them. But they're not. All they're doing now is bitterly reporting the facts because they knew that this was garbage in the beginning. Remember Van Jones? That's a nothing burger. They all knew. And we're about to find out their part that they played in this too. So listen to him over here trying to act like he just reporting the facts. You know, he hurting on the inside.
Things that we already knew from a previous Inspector General report, and I'll read you just a part of it, of John Durham's conclusion. He says, based on the review of Crossfire Hurricane and related intelligence activities, we conclude that the department and the FBI failed to uphold their important mission of strict fidelity to the law in connection with certain events and activities described in this report.
You got to be kidding me. Now, why is it that all of us sitting at our homes were able to deduce this and these people didn't? That's my question. Do we have more resources and connections than they do? Or could it be that they were part of all of this diabolical scheme as well? Remember we found out that all of these networks were invited to Hillary Clinton's campaign manager's crib right before she announced, except for Fox. For some reason, Fox wasn't allowed. But they all went there. For what? I mean, should the media and the government and politicians be snoozing together? Should they all be throwing little parties and hanging out together? I'm pretty sure at that little soiree, they were all in, all right, now listen, here's the plan. We got to go in hard after Trump, make him look like he's a demon, give him a lot of airtime. We want him to become the front runner because Hillary's going to easily mop the floor with him. And nothing but egg on the face happened. So now let's continue hearing this man bitterly deliver this news.
Regardless, the report is now here. It has dropped, and it might not have produced everything of what some Republicans hoped for. It is regardless.
No, it produced everything that I knew, not hoped for, that I knew Jake Crapper. This the same Jake Crapper the other day after Trump was in the town hall meeting, throwing him under the bus. What we just witnessed, a man who lies over and over again, a man who's a... Don't you feel like mud, Jake Crapper? And now he's going to try to act as if he's holding the FBI accountable.
Devastating to the FBI. And to a degree, it does exonerate Donald Trump.
I know that hurt.
Don't you feel dumb? Here! Look at you!
Oh, I love it. I love it, Crapper. Oh, I love it. Now, here's my question. Now that this is out, where's Christopher Wray? See, I need to get to some answers. I mean, if you come in, even though you came in late, and big for nothing, Comey was gone, you should have came in and said, "Give me everything you have on the Trump investigation. I need to see what made you all, since I'm over the FBI now, made all of you decide that we should go after this man." And then Christopher Wray should have looked at that and said, "What the heck? Y'all, shut this down. Shut this down right now." But he didn't. I wonder why he didn't. I need to know why Christopher Wray sat on that laptop that they had since like 2019 or something like that. It was posted up in the cabinet. Rusting, I guess. Why didn't he break that out? Why didn't he come out right after those so-called intelligence agents said it was Russian disinformation? Why didn't he come out and say, "Hey, look, it wasn't Russian disinformation"? I mean, heck, an investigation wasn't going on, so it wasn't like he had to not keep it, be quiet. I want to go on investigation. The man was skirting past. Him, Hunter, all of them, been skirting forever. So at least he could have came out and said the reporting on that is true, because the other folks working with him in these agencies came out and said that it wasn't true. It wouldn't have been that he was out there trying to hurt, Biden or whatever. He should have said, based on these so-called professionals coming out and saying that that's a lie and it's Russian disinformation, I'm simply going to say it's not, and let the chips fall where they may. But he didn't. And then you have this witch herself. I'll get you, my Trumpers, and your little dogs too.
Our future, the damage being done to our values, our institutions, and try to think of ways that I can help those who are on the front lines of the fight.
Your name doesn't come up much on any campaign except for Donald Trump's. Lock her up is still a big popular.
Yeah, it still is popular, and now it's justified. Wait, let me see. Crossfire Hurricane was open as a full investigation. Yet days after it was open, Peter Schrock was essentially telling a London FBI employee that there's nothing to this. Now, isn't that interesting? The persons that launched this crap was up there boasting like he was on Project Veritas or something. I love it when they get caught on those, man. Man, yeah, let me tell you what's really going on. And they come to find out, oh, man, you was recording me? Well, Peter Strzok told somebody in London that there's nothing to it. So, Peter, if you knew it was nothing to it, why'd you let it go on? That's my question. Big for nothing James Comey need to be drugged back in as well to Congress.
A line.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
Election denier. Election denier. Insurrectionist. Why aren't they banging on Hillary's door saying, are you willing to denounce your accusations of Donald Trump not being a legitimate president? Huh? It's been like 6 years now, and you've never retracted that. You never denounced it. Where are they at? Why aren't they following her around on her broom, trying to drag her in somewhere and ask her that question? As they spent 20-something minutes trying to get Trump to admit to it.
He knows. He knows that there were.
Oh, wait, what's this? According to the FBI CHS, in early 2016, the Clinton campaign was fully aware of and okay with a foreign contribution in violation of federal law. Anybody got a pair of handcuffs I could borrow? The FBI agent didn't get receipts. What? And asked the source to stay away from the Clinton campaign. Wow. FBI was very generous with her. I mean, she was getting money from, not violation campaign laws and stuff. They want to lock Trump up for that, though. They want to lock him up for that. But this lady right here, just stay away from her, okay? We don't need no receipts. We don't want to see it. La, 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 la. Because if we see it, we might have to be accountable to it.
For a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did. And I take responsibility for those parts of it that I should. But Jane, it was like applying for a job and getting 66 million letters of recommendation and losing to a corrupt human tornado. And
wow. Now, do y'all see this lady right here? This 100% cold-blooded sociopath? This woman right here is the best at lying. Now, what's crazy is, I wonder how her daughter feels sitting next to a sociopath. I wonder if her daughter recognizes my mom is like Diablos. I mean, could you ever look at your mom again the same? Or has they tainted Chelsea as well? I mean, is she on board with the evilness? Because her mom is sitting right there full-blown dropping nothing but 100% lies in front of her daughter and on TV.
And so I know that he knows that this wasn't on the level. I don't know that we'll ever know everything that happened.
No, we found out. We found out everything that happened, crooked. You. That's what happened. Your crooked tail. And he knows. And I will never find out what everything that happened. Yes, we did. We knew that mess a long time ago. Soon as the FBI found out that she paid for that dossier, they should have shut everything down. And they let that stupid dang on Mueller investigation carry on for 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that.
But clearly we know a lot and are learning more every day, and history will probably sort it all out. So of course he's obsessed with me. And I believe that it's a guilty conscience. And so
it was all... Unlike her, she doesn't have one of those. She doesn't have a conscience. That's her problem. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she really didn't believe all of that garbage she just laid out there on TV. Now, here's my question. The lady interviewing her, I wonder if she's sitting somewhere right now contemplating her participation in that. Like, man, I can't believe Hillary lied right to my face. Or I knew it was a lie. I came out and said, okay, Hill, here's your opportunity to lie like a rug. So let's see how Trump feels about it.
Bullshit. You're a member of the judiciary. Do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the...
Fartwell. There we go. The dude right there with funky fang. Won't you take me to funky fang? Won't you take... So now let's see what Fartwell had to say. According to the Durham report, the plan by Hillary Clinton to create a false story linking Donald Trump to Russia was briefed in August 2016. So, if I'm understanding this, Hillary was bold with her corrupt. She went right to the folks, to Obama and all of them, say, hey, listen, I got a plan, y'all. Why don't we go ahead and use a little McCarthyism? Why don't we sabotage Donald Trump and lie on him and say that he's a Russian agent? So all of these folks that sat there and listened to that and never said nothing, who let that investigation and that lie go on, they should all be brought in. They should all be brought up on some charges. So let me see, briefed in August 2016 by the CIA director, who? John Brennan, that troll, to President who? Obama. And I'm sure he said, listen, Hillary, I want nothing to do with this. Right about now, I'm almost ashamed that you would even suggest something like that. Did he say that? Or did he say nothing? He just let it happen. Who else was? Oh, VP Biden. I don't know nothing. I didn't even know about the investigation into Flynn. No, nothing. He was right there. AG Loretta Lynch on that tarmac with her fat, short butt with Bill Clinton talking about that mess. And then, the biggest, nastiest, funkiest, for-nothing dude of all, James Comey. There you have it. The whole crew, the motley crew was all there. They knew. And you telling me Big for Nothing didn't stand up and say, this right here is not right. That's why I knew that they all knew. Because there's no way low-level FBI agents would have launched an investigation without briefing them into the presidential candidate in a race. No way. Can you imagine the fallout? Here I am. I got a suspicion that George Snuffleupagus and Carter Page might be into some shenanigans. I'm going to look into it. And allow this mess to escalate all the way to the point to where it hits the media. And then you telling me Big for Nothing James Comey wouldn't be like, what the heck? What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Where's the evidence for this? You think Obama, if this crap would have been going on under his watch, he wouldn't have separated himself from that? He wouldn't have came out and said, look, I have nothing to do with this. The FBI went rogue. I didn't do this. But they all stayed quiet and let it go. Now, I wonder why they're not in jail. Anybody? That's why I said my plan that I mentioned a few minutes ago, that's what needs to happen. If you can't get them now, get them later. Soon as we get the House, the Senate, and dang on executive branch, don't tarry, don't wait, don't try to take the high road. No, we have the right to take the low road this time. Absolute right. And it ain't really the low road. By holding them accountable is the high road.
The Russians.
Yes, I think there's more evidence than he is.
Ethan.
Yes, and I think all the arrows point in that direction, and I haven't seen a single piece of evidence that he's not.
What?
18 reasons.
He ain't seen a single piece of evidence that undermines it. There wasn't a single piece of evidence that legitimized it. And Fartwell was on their line. The same man who got deceived by a Chinese spy. Oh boy, I tell you, man, this just gets sweeter and sweeter. And I tell you, it'll reach its zenith of sweetness if I see somebody go to jail. That right there would be worth the celebration. I don't want no low-level folks either. I don't want no slap on no wrist, make you step down. I want you to go to the big house, big ones, the big fish, all them little ones, throw them back in the water. I'm like Chevy Chase in Holiday Road when they got to Wally World and John Candy was putting them on them little rides and he's all right, that's enough. That's enough. The big ones. Show me the big ones. I want the big ones. That's what I want. I want the big ones. And what's this? Oh, CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Trump could be a Russian asset. How many years in journalism have you been? How many years?
Many years.
Many
Journalist
years.
for nothing.
Did you ever think you'd be writing this piece?
No, I mean, this is like something out of the Manchurian Candidate or
Totally.
the Americans. I mean, this is the realm of spy fiction becoming reality. It would have seemed bonkers until Trump.
It sure is. It is like watching a spy fiction. Boy, I tell you, man, these folks, woo-wee. I'm glad these are all immortalized on the internet. But see, they won't do self-reflection. They won't be held accountable because they ain't going to bring nobody on their show that's going to go ahead and say, just give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull up the clip of you saying this. Does with that report that just came out, does that look like a spy novel? You're right. Yeah. And we would have never thought we'd see something like this until Hillary Clinton showed up. Big for Nothing James Comey showed up. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Loretta Lynch, Rice, all of them. Until they showed up, we would have never thought we'd see something like this.
But it's not bonkers anymore.
And yes, the issue of collusion with the Trump campaign. There is significant evidence, much of it in the public domain, on the issue of collusion.
It was all bullshit.
Thank you, Trump.
Bingo.
Special Counsel John Durham concluded FBI never should have launched full Trump-Russia probe. Where's CNN at to apologize?
It was all bullshit.
Thank you, Trump.
And this group of major losers did not just ruthlessly attack me, my family, and everyone who question their lies.
Oh, just like they attack us now when we question the election. Now, if these people were ruthless enough to go through all of this to destroy Trump's presidency, you don't think they would be ruthless enough to rig something else? You don't think if the media was that complicit in lying about him being a Russian agent, you don't think they wouldn't be complicit in lying about who won that last you know what? I mean, these are things just to think about. Their credibility is shot on every front, but yet they'll get out there and attack us for questioning the results, questioning all of this mess. You're a denier, insurrectionist. No, they are the insurrectionists. Trump, tell us more of how you feel about this.
They tried to divide our country, to poison the national debate, and to tear up the fabric of our great democracy,
That's
the greatest anywhere in the world.
The one they always whining about protecting. Yeah. So some of us said, no, Kevin, those are facts. Now, let's go ahead and go back down memory lane so that we can remind all the bubbleheads of how simple-minded they were to fall for this.
You know, the only other adversary of ours who's anywhere near as good as the Russians is China.
No, it's you. Yeah, you are way better than the Russians. You, crooked, did more damage to the country than the Russians, okay? You were behind that dossier. We found the Russian collusion right there. We're looking at it. Right there. That witch.
So why should Russia have all the fun? And since Russia is clearly...
Wait a minute, what's this? All right, we have the Durham report, a running thread. The Clinton campaign planned to link Trump-Russia, known to the CIA, was briefed to President Obama and all that. Okay.
Backing Republicans. Why don't we ask China to back us?
I hereby tonight ask China.
That's right.
Oh, y'all see Mad Cow? Y'all see Mad Cow right there? I hereby, right now, ask China to back us. China's already been backing you. They've been backing Joe. They've been backing you guys. That's why y'all never say anything about China. And that's why China's running rampant right now. Because they've been backed you. You think they want Trump to get back in for another 4 years? No.
And not only that, China, if you're listening, why don't you get Trump's tax returns? I'm sure our media would richly reward you.
And I'm sure they would too. Yeah, just like right now, as Rachel Madcow is letting you sit there on her show and vomit up those lies and propaganda. So they'll back anything y'all tell them to say. That's the problem. And we see through it, and that's why they hate us. We caught all of these lies a long time ago. Don't it feel good to know you're not easily brainwashed? Good grief. Let's continue listening to the witch. I'm surprised a bat doesn't fly out from under her collar.
So if after this hypothetical Democratic candidate says...
Oh, hypothetical Democrat candidate. What is this? The FBI and DOJ restricted 2 investigations into Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. Sounds like election interference. So let me get this straight. Just like they're restricting investigations into creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe right now, they restricted 2 investigations into her illegal foreign contributions to the Clinton campaign. What else?
This on your show. Within hours, all of a sudden, the IRS offices are bombarded with incredibly sophisticated cyber tools looking for Trump's tax returns, and then extracts them and then passes them to whatever the new WikiLeaks happens to be, and they start being unraveled and disclosed. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, if you're going to let Russia get away with what they did, and
going to let Russia get away with what they did. Now, looking back at this, do you understand the level of evil you have to have in you to sit there like that? She's mad because she got caught. She's mad because most likely Seth somebody, you know who I'm talking about, Seth somebody, found out that they were cheating on Bernie Sanders and took that little disc and sent it right off to Julian, you know who, and it all dropped out. And she's mad. She's mad because she got caught. That's what it is. And so now here she is up here trying to explain it and reverse it and get pity and sympathy. Like, they did this to me. You did this to you, crooked. You did this to you.
are still doing, according to Christopher Wray,
Who's lying? So they're still doing it, according to Christopher Wray, who's been lying. The same Christopher Wray that just came out talking about one of the greatest threats to the homeland is white nationalism. That Christopher Wray, the one that let that laptop sit in that cabinet for a year or so and didn't do nothing about it. That Christopher Wray. So look at this. No investigative activities occurred for months.
Current FBI director who said that last week, they're in our election systems. We're worried about 2020, he said. So, hey, let's have a great power contest and let's get the Chinese in on the side of somebody else.
What? And they call Trump a liar. Woo! We just saw the mother of all lies right there. That woman right there is a liologist. That's what she is. And then you got these folks right here. Let's get it.
Collusion. Trump-Russian sort of collusion.
Trump-Russian possible collusion.
Trump-Russian metal collusion.
Trump-Russia possible collusion.
Trump-Russian actually collusion.
Trump-Russia possible collusion.
Trump-Russia possible collusion.
Trump-Russian collusion.
Trump-Russia collusion.
Trump-Russia possible collusion.
Russian hacked our election.
Here comes a big change. It was all of a sudden Trump bullshit.
Possible collusion.
Russian collusion.
Trump-Russian possible collusion.
Russian possible collusion. Trump-Russian collusion.
Collusion with the Russians. Trump-Russia possible collusion. Trump-Russia possible collusion. Prove collusion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Prove collusion.
I'm sorry. Whew. That cut was jamming. It was hot, man. I was loving it. Who's the producer on that? Oh, devils, evil folks, dirty, nasty, stinking Democrats. They should give a shout out to Satan. We want to give a special thanks to Diablos. He produced this whole cut right there. Trump, Russia, illusion. Here we go. Let's continue.
It was all bullshit.
Beginning the Russian investigation, I said that any allegations should be investigated. We couldn't have known, for example, people were lying to Christopher Steele. So it was proper to investigate them. And let's not forget what we learned in that investigation.
It was what?
We learned that the Trump campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, was giving internal polling data, campaign polling data to Russian intelligence, while Russian intelligence was helping the...
This is Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff is a liar. Adam Schiff is a leaker. Adam Schiff is an a-hole. Don't be an Adam Schiff.
Trump
And to
campaign.
be clear, he was fired halfway through the campaign.
Okay.
Well, he may have been fired, but the effort to get Russian help continued, and even beyond the effort to get Russian help.
But you may
the
have
president
helped
also
spread Russian
sought to get...
disinformation yourself for years
Yes, you
by
did.
promoting
Yes,
this.
you
I
did.
think that's what Republicans
It's still on
and what
TV.
people who entrusted you as the Intel Committee chair are so confused about your culpability in all of this.
Well, I completely disagree with your premise.
I'm sure you do, bug-eyed. I'm sure you do, watermelon-shaped face. I'm sure because you're full of shit. So this dude right here, even after all those lies, is still right now on TV and was shocked when he was removed from the Intel Committee, y'all. Him and Fartwell, shocked. Couldn't believe it. Out there mad. I can't believe this. This is nothing more than... He is full of shit.
It's one thing to say allegations should be investigated, and they were. It's another to say that we should have foreseen in advance that some people were lying to Christopher Steele, which is impossible, of course, to do.
Hi, all right. I'm going to put Mr. Schiff on the phone, and then I guess are you going to transfer him to Mr. Coverby?
Yes, of course.
Great, thank you.
Hi, how are you? Hello, Mr. Schiff. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate
Wait a minute. Whose voice is that, y'all? You telling me Pencil Neck is on the phone with who he believed to be Russians? Now, I thought we weren't even allowed to, talk to foreign adversaries to get dirt on our opponents. I thought we weren't even allowed. But it sounds like he's talking to these two pranksters with glee. He's excited. Let's hear how it unfolds.
appreciate the opportunity to speak with you. I know that you work for investigation regarding Trump and Russian government. Yes. We know some important information about it.
He should hang up right there, right? We have very important information about it. He should hang up right there. Sorry, I'm not allowed to be listening and talking to Russians. Okay, that's Russian collusion. I shouldn't be getting dirt on my opponent, but instead he's like, go ahead.
That is documented as well in materials you want to provide to us? Yes. Could I explain you where we are? Yes. Well, please, go ahead then. In November 2000.
Oh, what did he say? What did he say? La, 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 I want to hear this. Or did he say, please, go ahead then? These cats, man, if the media did their job, boy, I tell you, man, don't ever let me get a bigger platform Oh, man. I'm going to let them have it. I want all of the dummies who fall for these crooks to see all of this stuff. I know YouTube ain't going to spread my stuff like it should be spreaded, but I want them all to see the people who constantly deceives them. Constantly. Why would you continue to vote for these folks when you have all this wonderful evidence of hypocrisy, of lies, of manipulation, of corruption? Only reason is because the media shields them from this.
2013, Mr. Trump visited Moscow. He visited competition Miss Universe, and there he met with the Russian journalist and celebrity Ksenia Sobchak.
I'm sorry, can you explain that again?
Oh, you hear that? He wants a bigger. I'm sorry, can you explain that again? I want more details, please. So let's find out who Trump allegedly was having an affair with over in Russia.
While he was in Moscow in November 2013, he met with a journalist and...
Well, she's poor journalist. But anyway, she became famous because of Putin is her godfather.
Okay, Putin's godfather. Okay.
She also known as a person who provides girls for escort for oligarchs, and she met with Trump and she brought him 1 hour Russian girl, celebrity Olga Buzova.
Olga Buzova. Y'all hear that? They brought Trump one of our celebrities, Olga Buzova. Man, if I was on that call pranking him, I might have even went a little further. I might have went Zoolander. Her name is Katinka Inga Bagovanana. That's what I would have hit him with, just to see if he fall for that one. He would be like, no, that didn't sound like a real name, but I'm going to go with it because I'm so thirsty to try to destroy Trump. I'm willing to believe it. I heard that name from somewhere before. But anyway, how do you spell Katinka Inga Bagovanana? This idiot fell for it.
Who also known as a person with a strange reputation.
Olga, and how do you spell her name?
Olga Buzova. Yes, Olga she's a friend of a reporter, and I think the special agent of Russian Secret Service, Ksenia Sobchak.
That Sobchak is or Olga is?
No, Sobchak is Ksenia.
Okay, and so Buzova met with Trump in New York at some point after the 2013 Miss Universe
yes.
pageant.
He's digging.
Absolutely, and she got compromising materials on Trump after their short relations.
Okay, and what's the nature of the compromise?
Well, there were pictures of naked Trump.
Y'all hear that Russia collusion going on right there? Well, there were pictures of naked Trump. Pictures of naked Trump. Now, he ain't even brought up the PP yet. And then Adam Schiff had the nerve after this audio came out to say, I knew they was pranking me. I was suspicious. That's why you called them back? That's why you were sweating them afterwards? When are we going to get together? I need that PP tape. Where you guys at? You're still out there, right?
And so Putin was made aware of the availability of the compromising material?
Yes, of course, Buzova shared those materials with Sobchak, and Sobchak shares those materials with Putin because she's a goddaughter of Putin, and Putin decided to press on Trump.
But let's not use that as a smokescreen to somehow shield Donald Trump's culpability for inviting Russia to help him in the election, which they did, for trying to coerce Ukraine into helping him in the next election, which he did, into inciting an insurrection, which he did.
Which he did, y'all. Now, that dude right there is another one. Full-blown sociopath. That dude right there could pass a lie detector test. His credibility is shot. And guess what? That man right there should be dragged straight into the slammer, along with Hillary, along with everybody else that was mentioned in that list. And that man just dropped out about 6 additional lies right after he tried to clean up getting busted in the first lie, blaming it on, it wasn't our fault that people lied to, no, it's your fault, and Hillary's fault.
None of that is undercut. None of that serious misconduct is in any way diminished by the fact that people lied to Christopher Steele.
No.
You're the one that's been lying to America. Man, I am furious over this. Even though it's funny and I'm having a good time gloating, these people lied about the election, about the president, and lied to the country, man. And they're responsible for looking over the people. Their job is not to lie and destroy and divide the country. When you are telling half the country that the reason they lost their election, people get passionate over the candidate. That's why we're still mad about the shenanigans that took place. But just as mad as we are, legitimately, over what took place, these people had no right to get mad. And these people were lied to by them and told that the president won because he was a Russian agent and Vladimir Putin helped him. Now, how malicious do you have to be to do that? How thirsty you got to be for power to do that, knowing that it will rip the country in half? And all of the same people to be telling us it's about unity and it's about bringing us together and inclusion and America being united and this and that. Ripped the country in half with that big fat lie. Got people to this day still hating Donald Trump, thinking that he lost because he colluded with Russia.
No, I think just your credibility.
Yes, it has.
Well, I think the credibility of your question is in doubt.
I bet you think that. I bet you do think that, Schiff, you little liar.
It's all bullshit.
Putin, Russia hates Russia, Putin, Russia's Russia, Moscow, Russia, Russian pro-Russian, the Russians, Moscow, Russia, Putin, Russia against us, the Russians against the U.S., the Russian government, the Russians, Vladimir Putin, Vladimir Putin, Putin and Russia, Moscow, Russia, the Russians, Russia, Putin.
She is jamming. Hold on, let me run that back, man. I want to hear that bass line come in. Yeah, Russia, Putin, Russia. She made a whole song out of Russia, Putin, Kremlin.
I believe your question is in doubt.
Three words in the whole song.
Bullshit.
Putin, Russia hates Russia, Putin, Russia's Russia, Moscow, Russian pro-Russian, the Russians,
Sing that thing, man, Cal.
Russia, Putin, Russian against us, the Russians against the U.S., the Russian government, the Russians, Vladimir Putin, Vladimir Putin, Putin and Russia, Moscow, Russia, the Russians, Russia,
killing it.
Putin, Russia, the Soviet Empire, the second of the 20th century's great evils, communism in Russia, Russia, assault by Russia,
Putin despises the West in general and the United States in particular, Soviet Empire. Russia, they're the adversary. They want to bring us down so that
It was all bullshit.
Thank you, Trump. Now, you know what's crazy about that? That whole montage of Russia, Putin, Putin, Kremlin, Putin, Russia. What's funny about that is that all took place in one episode. One episode of Rachel Madcow. She dropped that much propaganda. She overloaded us with propaganda on that. And she was one of their most popular. How can anybody trust them? That chick right there had Russia and Putin on her mind all that time. Russia, Putin, Russia. One episode. I thought for a second like that got to be like over 6 weeks, a month. No, one episode? What? Unbelievable. And then, of course, guys, the Democrats come right back with this crap. This is the crap they're delivering to us all, y'all. Now, I wonder how their voters feel. So let me understand. You've been first lied to about Russia, Putin, Russia, Kremlin. And now you've been abused by allowing all of this crap to take place in our country. Let's see what we're talking about here. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, a bunch of crap? Yeah, we know that. The Democrats.
So how is the border secure? So
what's this?
As far as the border, we're taking unprecedented action. We had to fix something that was broken, especially by the last administration.
Would you call
Now, see, she's bad at her lying. She ain't quite a liologist yet. She hasn't reached lying nirvana yet. Okay? It's obvious. She's uncomfortable lying. Okay, so here she is trying to be the sociopath, but she hasn't arrived there yet. This guy, he's a professional.
The border secure?
I think that there's no question that we have to do what the president and I asked Congress to do. Is the first request we made.
Watch out for the snake tongue.
Pass a
Think about
bill to create a pathway to citizenship. The border is secure.
Oh, it is?
The border is closed. The border is secure.
Our borders are not open.
First of all, the idea that Joe Biden said come, because I heard the other day that they're coming because they know I'm a nice guy and I won't do what Trump did. This. Yeah. Well, here's the deal. They're not.
What? They're not? Oh, what's this? This man was installed to make sabotage seem like incompetency. Now, I've been saying that forever. I think I need to get one of these shirts. This man was installed, notice what the shirt say, to make sabotage seem like incompetency. Because nobody's this dumb or incompetent. I've been yelling it at the top of the mountaintop this whole time. They're doing all of this on purpose and making it seem like we're just making mistakes. Things just happening. Joe Biden is not really with it. Granted, he's not with it. But nonetheless, they installed him for that. So he could take the downfall when it comes down to us going, wait, so y'all saw all of this coming and couldn't stop it? You telling me y'all knew these folks was coming? You telling me y'all removed all these restrictions? How did these people get dumped into our city? What's going on here? Oh, it's greater than all of y'all now all of a sudden? So this guy right here is really, really trying to destroy the country, or he's the object that they're using. And yet they will all chalk it up to they're just very incompetent. No, they're very diabolical, calculated, and evil. There he is right there. I am the democracy. MAGA!
We come here not as conquerors, but as liberators. It doesn't matter who we are.
It doesn't matter who we are. Nobody cared until I put on the mask. Let's not spend on ceremony here, Mr. Trump.
Y'all hear him?
Oh, you think darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was nearly a man. By that time, it was only blinding.
That guy with that Bane mask on.
What matters is our plan.
What matters is our plan.
Return to your homes. Hold your families close.
Yeah, you better with him.
And wait. The fire rises.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies.
Here he is in his vehicle.
About reckless spending.
Yeah.
We're changing people's lives.
You see him driving that dumpster? That dude right there, that's the only thing they allow him to drive at this point. That dumpster. You know why? Because he's dumpster juice. That's why. And that's offensive to dumpster juice. Dang on it. That dude right there riding around in his dang on chariot. That's what he is. Dumpster juice.
Bad feeling about this.
Me too. Had one
the migrants covered in blankets stretch for blocks. And tonight, El Paso is under a state of emergency because city officials say they don't have enough resources to handle this.
Look what the Democrats have delivered on. They having a party. Block party. 24 hours. Block party out there. Oh, wow, did you see that? They all down the alleys. Good googly moo. How would you feel about your vote if you live right there and voted for one of these cats? I mean, you riding through and all you see is folks lined up on the street. And then look down the alley and they're down there too. Down there too. Folks with no resources and they're all in your neighborhood. You don't think one of them might get desperate and say, hey, man, I'm here in America. I don't know what's going to happen to you. You know what? I'm going to have to go ahead and climb through this person's window and hit him in the head with a bag of nickels. I mean, all of that mess brought to these cities by these fools.
Build back better.
Oh, look, there it is.
We saw that desperation as migrants here scrambled for food and water. We were here several months ago, and there appear to be many more migrants now. The difference is striking. This group extends all the way around this church for several
Republicans are more interested in campaigning on immigration than actually solving it.
Yeah.
The bill, H.R. 2, would be a disaster for border security and a Christmas morning gift for human smugglers.
Hot dang. Y'all hear that fat lie? That attempt to gaslight us, that reverse mind trick right there? So removing H.R. 42 would be a disaster for immigration. And what else she lie about? She's trying to improve her lying. Let me see something here.
For border security and
border security. Why? Why would removing that be a disaster for border security? You're telling us the opposite of what it will do. So you're lying to me? And what else?
A Christmas morning gift for human smugglers.
A Christmas morning gift for human smugglers. I don't see how that would be a gift. That's the worst kind of gift. So you're telling me by removing it, or keeping it rather, that it would have been a disaster? And it would be a gift for the human traffickers? No. The gift is removing it. She didn't even try with that lie. Least try to lie. That one is one of the ones where you scratch your head like, did she just say what she said? I mean, she do realize that makes no sense. It's obvious that it'll be a bigger gift to the cartel based on the fact that more people are posted up waiting for y'all to remove Title 42. And all of those people got to pay who? The cartel. You big old nasty liar, drop you.
And instead of providing the needed resources for more border security technology and asylum officers and judges.
Oh, easier ways for them to get in? See, this is what the Democrats have delivered. Instead of providing more easier ways for them to get in, resource officers, and judges and counselors.
It would waste taxpayer dollars on an ineffective wall.
Now she done went too far. Waste taxpayers' dollars on an ineffective wall. That ineffective wall that the Border Patrol men say they need, not you. How much knowledge, Black Gay Drop, do you have on border security and on a wall? That's what I want to know. I thought y'all try to leave it up to the men and women on the ground to tell. No? Okay. So when they say we need the wall, y'all say no. Walls are ineffective. Walls are racist. They're ineffective. All of that crap. And so now here she is, even though the wall was paid for and they refused to finish building it. But she said it's wasting taxpayers' dollars. You know what I think is wasting our dollars? Paying for all these illegal immigrants to go all around the country. I think it wastes our taxpayers' dollars, the fact that y'all didn't use the material that was laid out there to finish the wall. But still paid it off, though. Yeah, we'll go ahead and honor the contract, but we don't want the wall built. That's a waste of tax dollars.
Again, an ineffective wall that can't even withstand heavy winds, let alone sophisticated.
Wait, what kind of wall is she talking about? She cannot be talking about the wall I saw. The parts that Trump built. Maybe she's talking about those little nets that they had back before Trump got in office.
Criminal smuggling network.
What's this? Oh. That was a dead old. Wow, look at it. Title 42, baby. It makes it easier. Look at that. It makes it easier. Oh, whoa. Now, right there, what you're seeing is not illegal immigrants laying all on the streets. That right there is a block party. It's a celebration of illegal immigration. And these people are all celebrating illegal immigration. That's all they're doing. Man, that looked like San Francisco. Jeez. Thanks, Democrats. Whoa. Where are all these folks going? I want to know. I'm like, where everybody going? I'm coming. Yeah. See, so y'all see this? The new coming to America. That's what this is. The new coming to America. They look like Moses is bringing them all in right through the part of the sea, the Red Sea, right to our country, right into our country. Democrats. Now, all those voters who are dumb enough to go vote for these people, you deserve all of this. And we're about to find out the regret in a minute. Let's continue. Look at that. As far as the eye can see. But that's just a parade. Our Democrats need to be kicked in the butt. They all need to be locked up, man. This is ridiculous. This is, see, and it's sad because I have no qualms with these people. So it's not that I'm xenophobic, not that I'm anti-immigration, none of this. This right here is a crime against our country. They have forsaken their responsibility to keep the dang on country safe. And as I look in this crowd, a whole bunch of men, they want folks to think these are very gentle woodland creatures, mostly women and children. Whole bunch of single war age men coming to our country. Foot needs to go up their butts. I need to put both feet up. Look at that, all this man. Mucus, that border is secure. Blockade drop. Does that look secure, y'all? Look at it. They got bullhorns and everything. Your left.
Arizona Congressman Ruben Gallego said, quote, federal agencies have had time to plan, but their efforts have fallen short. How do you respond to him and some other Democrats who say that you've fallen short?
I would respectfully disagree.
How could you disagree with that, Mucus? Mucus, there you go again. There you go again, Mucus. Running all over the place. That's what Mucus does. I respectfully disagree with that data that we just saw with our own eyeballs. All of those people laying in the streets. And if being prepared for this looks like that, I wonder how it would look if you didn't prepare. That's my question, Mucus. So let's see why he disagrees.
We have been planning for months and months, over a year and a half.
So you wasted your time?
We have been planning for months and
only
months.
To do this. Only to show this, huh?
Well, illegal border crossings are at an all-time high, according to Customs and Border Patrol. More than 2.7 million migrants crossed the border illegally last fiscal year.
It's time to build back
better.
We've expanded our holding capacity in Border Patrol stations. We've added beds to Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
All of that right there only encourages them. You only encourage me, baby. You only encourage me. When you expand your holding facilities and beds and stuff like that, that's telling me we're open for business.
In our detention facilities.
Why should we have those? They should be either jail or nothing. That's it. Our detention facilities should be jails for folks who illegally cross our border. You should never have this amount of people coming for asylum, especially when you don't have a civil war going on down in South America. Unless it's a civil war down there we don't know about, unless there's some political or religious persecution down there that we don't know about, why are all these people coming this way? Could it be that you lowered another one of the standards and just say, well, from now on, you can just say you're afraid of gang violence? That's all of them. I want to have a conversation with Mucus. That's what I'm going to bite my tongue and say, I just like to have a conversation with Mucus.
We've increased our transportation resources.
There you go. Out of our pockets, our transportation resources. Everything this fool is describing right there is helping them. That's right. We're helping them. We are going to transport them all across the country on your expense, taxpayers' dollars. All that stuff we're doing does not discourage one person to go back home.
We're setting up regional processing centers now. It's extraordinary what we've done over the past 18 months or so.
It is. I'm absolutely amazed at what you were able to do in that short amount of time. This much destruction to our country in that short amount of time. Breaking records, Mucus. You're going down in the Hall of Fame of the worst effort at your job, besides Joe Biden. He's up there too. And this fool up here, we're just amazed. I wonder if the Border Patrol are amazed at that mess.
Oh, really?
For days now, the number of asylum seekers waiting to cross the border has been surging, fueling a humanitarian crisis in parts of Mexico.
60,000? One of these I can't even pronounce. The Koahalula, 25,000. Okay, Matamalupas, something like that. 35,000 immigrants spread out. So let me see, 60,000 plus 35,000, that's 90. Okay, 95, then add another 20. Wow, woo, we up there. We're up there.
Mexico. Up to 12,000 migrants are expected to cross the border daily once Title 42 ends.
Daily, y'all. There you go, Mucus. You're proud of that.
To power that cell phone charging station, they've got them labeled with people's names. There's another cell phone charging station.
Wait a minute. How do they have cell phones? How do they have cell phones? Remember, they're suffering persecution and they're just coming for a better life and poverty and stuff like that. But they got cell phones and charging ports. How'd they get those? Are those cell phones that either we provided or they have so they can call back home and say, Mom, Papi, I'm here. I made it. Now I'm going to have to sponsor you. You can come too.
Right over there by the border fence.
And in fact, if you look at illegal immigration, let's look at CBP encounters. You can see 500,000, 500,000. It drops to the lowest level and boom, what happens? You show up. And that red line is you.
You, Mucus.
That red line is Joe Biden.
Look at all of them coming. Yeah, I'm sure they're fleeing persecution. Yeah, gang violence right there. Whoa. Now that looks like that looks like a good time right there, right, guys? Now, I feel bad for these people because they brought them there with no plan, except for let's go ahead and dump them there and figure it out later. Now, can you imagine you sitting back going, okay, America pretty much said, come on, I get there. Yeah, it's so many of us that even with all of the shenanigans that they've been doing for the last 3 years or so, flying them around, this right here is too much. It's too many of them at once to do that. So now they're all just sitting out there on the street. I'm sure they're going to keep it all tidy. I'm sure they're going to clean up the paper and all that stuff laying there. I'm sure that's what they're going to do. What happens if it rains? I know they're down there in Texas, maybe El Paso, but there they are in the middle of the street. How do anybody in El Paso feel about the Democrat Party right now? That's what I want to know. But it ain't just El Paso. Look at that. Hanging out, man. Kicking it. Unreal.
It's extraordinary what we've done over the past 18 months or so.
And the U.S. is preparing for a flood of migrants trying to cross the southern border as Title 42 is set to end in just 2 days. Come Thursday, that Trump-era policy that allowed authorities to immediately deport most migrants will no longer be in place. That means that tens of thousands of migrants currently waiting in Mexico can apply for asylum in the U.S.
Right now, as we're speaking, the Texas National Guard is loading Black Hawk helicopters and C-130s, deploying specially trained National Guard members for the Texas Tactical Border Force. They will be deployed to hot spots along the border to intercept, to repel, and to turn back migrants who are trying to enter Texas illegally.
We should have did that a long time ago. But we got corrupt leaders running our country that's in conflict with the state governors. Now, I don't know all the legal ramifications, but I'm thinking, man, if I'm the governor of a state, how much leverage do I have to say, you know what, I'm shutting down our borders. Forget what the feds say. I'm shutting it down. We'll figure it out in court, something like that. How about you come down here and stop us? Because we're going to stop these people from coming across this border. They're talking about this is a humanitarian crisis that we have to handle very sensitively. No, we don't. Those Black Hawks should have been flying around a long time ago. Little birds, everything. Post, you name it, all kind of stuff. They should be intercepting these people. But it starts with letting these people know, don't come. We shouldn't have to have Black Hawks flying around. That should be rare. Did you see somebody coming and trying to jump our border? It says something. The fact that hundreds of thousands of them are coming. That means what message did we send to these people? It should be rare.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice. We have no choice.
You're right, Trump. Yeah. Yay! What did they say about walls? Walls are not immoral. See, that's smart. Human trafficking is immoral. Drug trafficking is immoral. Child smuggling is immoral. Open borders are dangerous and immoral.
Build that wall. 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 Build that wall.
Two things. Number one, they genuinely do not give a damn. And I know that sounds harsh, but if they gave a damn, they would change their policies. When they see 853 migrants who died in the last year crossing illegally, they'd say, let's stop this. When they see 100,000 people who die of drug overdoses, they'd say, let's stop this. When they see women who've been sexually assaulted over and over and over again, when they see kids who've been physically and sexually assaulted over and over and over again, if they cared, they would stop it.
But we know they don't care. See, that's the thing about the sociopaths that we just watched. The same ones that straight up called Trump a full-blown Russian agent. Said it on TV with a straight face. You think they care about these folks' lives? That's a small price to pay for eternal power and control. That's a small price. 8,500 or whatever or so. Doesn't matter. That's small peanuts compared to millions of these people that we're bringing in here. For what reason, Teddy?
But it doesn't matter to them. We all remember AOC in her white pantsuit down at the border with her head in her hands crying. Why was she crying? Because Donald Trump was president. Obviously, she wasn't crying about the plight of the illegal immigrants because the plight has gotten worse and our communities are paying the price. They don't care, number one. But number two, the only explanation I can come up with for why they keep doing this is they look at everyone crossing illegally and they think that is a future Democrat voter. They recognize they can't win elections based on actual policy positions because their socialist policies are unpopular in America. And so they are trying to radically change the electorate in America, and they're willing to allow people to suffer and die in order to achieve that political objective. It really is cynical and it's cruel what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and every congressional Democrat is doing right now.
Man, you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied, Teddy. Now, like I said, I blame Republicans a lot for this as well. When they had the House, the Senate, and the executive branch, some of them pooted and farted around. They didn't get behind Trump like they should have. So Ted Cruz is right. I said it the other day. You got to make the connection. Only area that the Democrats want IDs eliminated is in voting. Isn't that odd? All those other things. We want you to have an ID for all this other stuff, except for voting. And they're also the same ones who want illegal immigrants to come here. And then you have this guy. I wonder if he's worried about the carnage down there on that border. Let's see what Creepy says.
How do you think things are going at the border, sir?
Much better than you all expected.
What did he just say? Did y'all hear what this Pelican just said? Did y'all hear what the special needs person just said with that big fat helmet on? That guy just said much better than y'all expected. Can you believe that dude just said that?
Much better than you all expected.
We can't even finish this tonight. I'm mad at that comment. And then he laughed. Much better than you expected. Are you kidding me? It's way worse than anybody could have imagined.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I think. Pardon me?
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
Heck no.
Not in the near term, no. No, just be disruptive, not anything else.
Because he don't want to go see his work. He don't want to go down there and see that mess. He got shocked. You got any plans to visit the border? Excuse me? Heck no. I mean, no. It would be more disruptive. Yeah. Because your own border patrol probably would throw mud on you. You weasel. And matter of fact, he's such a weasel. Look what he got caught doing the other day while he was race baiting up at Harvard. I mean,
growing up, I had the privilege of living overseas and experiencing.
What is he doing? What is he digging for? Gold?
Cultures and experiences.
Get your hand out of there, creepy.
Those experiences. It was not always easy to navigate relationships and find my place. However, once I walked through the door,
he's in there for a long time too.
And saw all the other students with the same desire to excel.
Does he have an itch?
I knew I was
needs to be scratched. Look at that face. Harvard, thank you. Howard, rather. He up there at Howard, man. Digging in there, whatever he's trying to get, man. He can't wait. You see that face like, oh man, I can't get to it.
Coming to Howard allowed me to find me.
There you go. That's our president. Look at that. All down there. No shame. Probably ain't even aware.
Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for taking my...
Probably ain't even aware that people are watching him. Don't even know he's on camera. Hand down there, all the way to the elbow. All you see is just the elbow sticking. Hey, something's in there. I'm gonna get it. So there you have it, guys. I'm not going to drag it out. I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow because I'm not done with these fools. See, we're seeing what they've delivered to the public, okay, to America. We are seeing the carnage that these folks have left behind. But it's not just good enough for us to see it because guess what? We all saw it before now. I saw this happening. I mean, all this is, you would think we were all prophets. All this is the manifestation of what I imagined would happen if these people got power. And it's exactly how I imagined it to be. Exactly. So it's not shocking to us. It's disappointing and it's infuriating. But we're going to find a lot of people who they're shocked. They're shocked. Yeah, they need that shocking. They need to see what these folks right here have delivered. Because that's what they've done. They have given us a whole bunch of crap. And we're going to get to that tomorrow, probably amongst some other things, okay? So God bless y'all. God bless America. Boy, I tell you, and that dang on Robert Durham report. Ooh, that's precious. I wonder how they're going to spin that. I wonder how the Democrats are going to come out. I hope I find some footage after the night I'm getting. Oh, and don't forget, these storyboards right here, I'm immediately uploading them on all three of my channels right after we get done. So you can have the isolated clips just to check out. Hey, if you want, you can read along or go along with it tomorrow because I'm about to upload it. So make sure you're still subscribed and your notification button is on because you may not get the notification after I do it. But just in case you do, check it out. You can watch it. You'll get a foreshadowing of what we're going to be talking about tomorrow too. And we'll go from there. So, yeah. So thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Man, maybe we'll get a little more gloating in tomorrow. Who knows? And don't forget, follow me on all the other platforms, all the other, I guess, Rumble, YouTube. Now you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. Follow me on all that mess. Check out my podcast, and we'll go from there. Okay? God bless y'all. God bless America. We need it. We need it. More than ever. This is awesome. Yeah. It used to be. Now it's owned by the illegal immigrants, y'all. Yeah. Take care.